Happiness, come, let play the loving movie we saw in Daddy's phone, Victor whispered. Before we go in the story, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, give a like, and turn on the notification bell so that you do not miss some interesting story from us. The story begins now. In the village called Onekoko, there was a man named Mr. Frank. He was a taxi driver, worked in the city. He married a beautiful woman called Favor, who was a trader. She sold fruits in the market. They were blessed with 2 children, boy and girl, called Victor and Happiness. They loved their children so much and always wanted the best for them. Happiness and Victor went to school study. Had they loved their biology teacher. Every time their teacher the thought about sexual reproduction organs them listening carefully. When they come back home after close from school, they're sat down on the chair together, go through about what their thought in biology. Every evening after work, Mr. Frank would come home tired. He would sit down, eat, and then take his phone to watch American movies. Sometimes they would all sit together and watch TV. Thank God, the children are already asleep. Victor and Happiness shared the same small room. But every night, when the parents started watching movies, the 2 children began share the conversation about what their biology teacher thought them in school. They would open their door softly and crawl to the sitting room. From behind the door, they would watch everything their parents were watching on television without anyone knowing. Victor told Happiness that what Uncle P, biology teacher, thought about sexual reproduction organ is true. Some nights, the parents would watch action movies. Sometimes it was comedy. But one day, something changed. One Saturday morning, Mr. Frank was in a hurry. He had been called to carry a customer to the next town. He was watching a movie on his phone, but when the call came, he forgot to lock the site he was watching Love Moving. He dropped the phone on the table and rushed out. Victor and Happiness were home alone. Their mother also had gone to the market. The moment Mr. Frank left, Victor picked up the phone. He called. Happiness sat on the floor, holding the phone. The movie was still playing. At first, they saw a white man and a woman talking and smiling. Then the man and the woman kissed. They laughed and touched each other. The woman lay on the bed. The man lay beside her. They did not understand everything, but they saw the movements, the kissing, and how the woman smiled. Victor blinked. Happiness asked in a soft voice, "Victor, do you remember what Uncle P, our biology teacher, thought us last week about human reproduction organs?" Victor said, "Maybe. The white man is playing with his wife." Happiness smiled shyly. "Should we try it too?" They both laughed. They were only children. They didn't understand the meaning of what they saw, what their biology teacher thought them. But something woke up inside them. Curiosity. Confusion. A wrong seed was planted in their young minds. Later that night, when everyone was asleep, Victor whispered to Happiness, "Let's act for what we saw on Daddy's phone." At first, Happiness was shy, but she agreed. They started copying what they saw on the phone. Innocently but wrongly, they touched each other and called it White Man Movie. Day by day, they continued. It became their secret movie. They didn't know it was wrong. They thought it was fun, something that adults do for joy. They even created names like bed play. Each night, they would lock the door and practice the movie. One day, Victor told Happiness, "I like the movie." Happiness nodded, "I love it also." But secrets don't last forever. One Sunday evening, their mother, Mrs. Favor, was sweeping the children's room when she saw a note on the ground. She picked it up and opened it. What she read shocked her. "Tonight, after Mummy sleeps, we will play Kiss Kiss again." Their mother heart beat fast. She called her husband. "Look at this note," she said. "Mr. Frank, read it." "Where did you find this?" "In their room." Immediately, they called Victor and Happiness. "Who wrote this?" their father asked, raising his voice. Victor looked down. Happiness started crying. "Talk before I beat you," he shouted. Happiness said, It was me, but Victor helped me. Why are you playing kiss? Their mother asked. Victor said slowly, we saw it on Daddy's phone. The white man was kissing his wife on the bed. We thought it was a movie. Also, Uncle P, our biology teacher, taught us about human reproductive organs. Mr. Frank froze. He remembered that Saturday, the day he forgot his phone. He sat down and held his head. Oh my God! What have I done? He shouted, this is no real, it was a movie. For many days, Mr. Frank could not sleep. He was full of shame and regret. He went to the church to pray. He cried to God. He said, I thought they were sleeping. I thought I was just relaxing. I didn't know I was teaching my children the wrong things. He removed all the videos from his phone. He added a lock. He told his wife, from now on, no child will touch my phone. No movie without checking. No television at night. Mr. Frank's wife agreed, Miss Favor agreed. They sat down with Victor and Happiness. They explained everything in a calm voice. Children, what you saw is not a movie, Mother said. It is for adults who are married. It is not something to practice at your age. Why do they show it if children should not watch it? Victor asked. Mr. Frank replied, because many parents are careless. But from now on, we will protect your eyes and your heart. Happiness said, we are sorry. We forgive you, her mother said, but promise never to try it again. We promise, the children said together. But the damage had been done. The seed had already grown roots. 1 week later, something happened in school. A teacher saw Happiness hugging a boy under the mango tree. Victor told me this is how husband and wife do it, Happiness said. The teacher was shocked. Who thought you, Uncle P, biology teacher asked. I saw in my daddy's phone, she replied. The following day, news spread in the village. Principal called the school counselor. Called the parents. When Happiness's father arrived, he nearly fainted. My child has become a teacher of wrong things, he said in pain. The school principal was very angry. We don't allow these kinds of acts in our school. You must control your children at home. We will give a warning this time, but if it happens again, suspension will follow. Daddy's Happiness nodded with shame. It will not happen again. He took Victor and Happiness home. That night, he removed the television from the sitting room. He told them, we will not be watching any movies in this house again, nothing else. The news spread around Onikoko village. Other parents came to ask questions. What happened to your children? Daddy's Happiness didn't hide it. He stood in front of the village square and spoke. Fellow parents, I made a mistake. I was watching love movies in my phone when I received a call from Who Under Ride. Then I mistakenly left my phone on the table without switch off or locked before I left home. This is where I found my mistake. Please, let us protect our children. Don't leave your phones open. Don't play romantic or kissing movies in front of children. Don't think they are not watching. They are watching and learning. I have learned my lesson in hard way. Many parents clapped. Some were crying. From that day, many homes changed their ways. Some locked their phones. Others deleted all bad videos. Some stopped watching late-night movies. But in Victor and Happiness's hearts, a battle had begun. Their minds were not fully free yet. They had seen something too early. It would take time to clean it. Daddy Happiness called the church counselor. Please help me, he said. I don't want my children to grow with dirty minds. The counselor agreed to talk to them every weekend. After the big shame in school, things began to change in the Mr. Frank family house. The TV was no longer in their room. Mr. Frank bought a small radio instead. Their mother returned from the market early to spend more time with the children. The family prayed together every night. Things looked better. But deep inside Victor and Happiness, something was still not right. They had seen something that young eyes were not ready for. The memory of the white man movies still lived in their minds. Though they had promised never to do it again, the pictures and actions they saw continued to play in their heads like a dream. One hot afternoon, a new family moved into the compound beside the Mr. Frank family. They had a boy named Ikenna, who was 20 years old. Ikenna had a fast leg and a sharp mind. He always had one or two naughty things to say. He brought phone out. "Do you want to see something sweet?" he whispered. He pressed the phone. It opened a video, just like the one they had seen on their father's phone. A man and woman were kissing, touching, and laughing. Happiness and Victor looked surprised. "Ikenna, where did you get this?" Victor asked. "My elder brother's memory card," Ikenna said proudly. "He has hundreds of videos like this." Happiness felt something tickle in her stomach. Victor looked around. "Let's not tell Daddy or Mummy," he whispered. And so, the bad seed grew again. That night, while the parents were asleep, Victor and Happiness sneaked into the bathroom. It was quiet and dark. They practiced what they had seen again. This time, they tried to do what they watched on Ikenna's phone. It was wrong. It was deep. It was dangerous. But they did not know. They were too young to understand what their bodies were doing. They were copying something that was not meant for children. They thought it was a movie, but it was real. At church that Sunday morning, the children's teacher told a Bible story about King David. She explained how David made a big mistake by looking at something he shouldn't have seen. She said, "Sometimes the eyes can lead the heart into trouble." Victor looked at Happiness. Happiness looked down. They both knew the truth. They were living that story. Later that day, the counselor came to visit. Her name was Auntie Grace. She was tall, gentle, and had a soft voice. She sat with Victor and Happiness under the mango tree. "Tell me, my children, how are you feeling today?" They both said, "Fine." But Auntie Grace smiled. "I know it's not easy. You saw something too early. Now it is stuck inside. But God can clean any heart, even young hearts." She began to talk about the brain, the heart, and how secrets grow like fire when hidden too long. Then she prays for them. She told them, "You will heal." She gave them notebooks called My Clean Heart Book. She told them to write their feelings inside every day. From that day, Victor and Happiness started talking more to her. She didn't shout. She didn't beat. She listened. And slowly, their hearts started to breathe again. Ikenna gets caught. 1 week later, a parent meeting was called at the community center. A boy had been caught showing bad videos to girls behind the school fence. It was Ikenna. The whole compound was shaking with noise. His parents were ashamed. The school suspended him. Some parents even wanted them to leave the area. When Daddy Happiness heard the news, he became angry. "So, this is the boy that brought darkness back to my children," he said. He marched to Ikenna's house and told his parents everything. "I forgive you," he said, "but I will never allow my children to be near your boy again." That evening, Victor told his father, "Daddy, I'm sorry. I didn't watch the video again." Daddy Victor didn't beat him. He hugged him and said, "Thank you for telling the truth. Now we know how to help you." They prayed together that night. A new light began to shine. 1 month later, the church organized a special event, Parents, Protect Their Eyes. Daddy Victor was the guest speaker. He stood before the crowd, wearing his old white native cloth. He shared the story of how one forgotten phone changed his children's life. "I gave them food. I gave them clothes. But I mistakenly left my phone on table without off the love movies that what lead to cows problem for my family," he said, tears in his eyes. Parents wept. Mothers covered their faces. Fathers lowered their heads. The pastor spoke next. Children are like clay. They shape by what they see and hear. Don't let the world shape them for you. After that day, many homes changed. Some fathers deleted their apps. Some mothers installed child-safe apps. Others gave up watching certain movies completely. The street became cleaner. Children played football instead of hiding behind corners with phones. But even with all these changes, Victor and Happiness still fought inside. Some nights, they dreamed of the videos. Some days, they wanted to try the game again. But they were stronger now. They had Auntie Grace. They had their parents. They had their notebooks. Always went to church with their parent. Lesson. To all parents, please carefully what you did in front of your children. If this story touches your heart, drop in the comments section. Where do you watching from? Subscribe so that you will not miss the remain interesting part of this video.